Yeah, that works.
So thanks for letting me to introduce to these three kind of tools. Like for simulation, like what you have learned, you have done some mathematics to get understand with the geometrical optics or the optical uh, elements like lenses, rays, like what is going to happen, what is diffraction. You did some homework problem too, but in the lab, what we are doing, we are actually preparing those setups to make it like to experience it. Like if we are having a spectacles, when you are going to the optics stores or something, what you are going to do, you have to check with the lenses, like right, like this lenses works for you or this or like that. So what we are going to do here, when you're doing some experiment, we can do it through some software. Like if you're going to buy something, you have to test it before buying. So it would be better to realize like what is going to be useful for your experiment. So that's why we are just gaining our confidence, like what will be useful for us for the experiment. We are going to use this kind of tools like light tools, Code 5, and the next one is 3D optics. So 3D optics is very new to me also, but the Code 3 and the Code 5 and the light tools, which I have used in my experiment. So what is our experiment? What is the optical experiment? It is going to be very useful because we have a microscope, and it's not a conventional microscope. We are having a microscope. It's a cannula microscope. So what is a cannula microscope is, suppose you are putting some cannula like a needle-like system over there. So you are going to place to have some light imaging. So which objective of the microscope is useful? Which lenses do we require to match this cannula? You can select the material, you can customize the lens, and you can build your own system using this. And another important is, like if we are realizing the market, like some company were there, Thor Labs, Advent Optics, some companies were there, they are having some available parts, right? So which you can do, like you can import that one, that their designs, and you can implement that in Lightroom. So you can change it, you can customize it, you can add something. So this is gonna help you to realize your experiment. And besides that, like when you're having your project on solar system, like the solar concentrator or the solar cooker, something like that, you're gonna make something, right? So there are few examples are there. You can take it, you can simulate it, and you can show it to our presentation, like whatever professor was saying just before that. Like you have to give a demo of your block or models. See, actually, some solar concentrators, the parameter were there. You can drag it, but you have to understand like how many rays you're gonna allow, how many, like what are the environment you're doing with. So you have to just realize that one, and you have to like understand, realize, and then use the examples. That is my goal here. So for light tools, I'm just showing you a bit of it, a bit of theory. And next week, you'll have more on that and Code 5, because Dr. Merrick is an expert of this. And so it is basically a 3D optical design. So you can just, what I'm saying, like you can optimize it, simulate it according to your own version. So basically this is light tools and how they are going to be different from Code 5 and 3D optics. So here you can draw your things, you can simulate your things, but in 3D optics, which I am really liking, like you can actually realize the system. Like if you are having this monitor, you're actually having this kind of thing in 3D optics. You can visualize a monitor over there. You can move it like this. So everything is possible in 3D optics. So you can realize it more realistically, I mean to say. But here you can like import the things, and there is an opportunity to have the non-sequential ray tracing, which is very much unusual in Code 5. Like you can do it, but it's a bit more difficult in Code 5. So what is sequential and non-sequential ray tracing? You can see that when rays are coming from a source and intersect on each surface, like sequentially, that is a sequential ray trace. But suppose if you're if you're having some lens just in a way that it should reflect it back to the same way, same path. So that means there is if you're having it's total internal reflection or something like kind of thing, that means rays are going there and then coming back. So if that is non-sequential, like if each ray is not meant to be follow the direct path with the like sequential path, if there is some obstacles to get it back, so we need some kind of more realistic tracing, ray tracing, that is called non-sequential ray tracing. So the non-sequential ray tracing is what we are going to have in light tools mainly. So just to get to know with the software, next day probably this week we will get to know with the software. I have taken this example of solar concentrator, you can see, and you can see like when you are having this kind of display, what are these? Like at the top, it is obviously the menu bar. So you can see some useful terms over there: analysis, ray trace, optimization. This is going to help you while you are doing simulation. Don't worry, I'll be showing this one later. And this is the console window, is the system navigator, because you can see like this concentrator is made of many things. So this concentrator is made of many things. If we are having each and other parts to realize like what is it? I don't know this system. I only seeing this. It's a simulation. It's a compact thing. So every individual things that they are in the system navigator under components bar, and in the here you can see this is the output, and this is what you can see as a command line. So this is a bit of something like the software, how it's going to be look like. And if we track something from the examples, so how do you deal with that? So yeah, again, some few more things like the components. There's a plus sign, so if you can expand it, you can get it you get it to know the every other components under that. And then there is a rays tab. You can again have some ray information like non-sequential ray or sequential ray, which you're gonna use, or what is they are preparing for the examples. So now this is orientation. So that means XYZ. You can turn it around. You can look after that, like what is actually it is made of. And each and every components, you can click it and take a look of their properties. This really helpful. And this is the ray option. That means again, the sequential ray, non-sequential ray or something you can see. And you can see an exclamatory mark. So this is for if you're all set, then you can start the simulation by this. Okay. So, and you can check like here, you can have this panel. So this is for lens structure. Like when you are starting from the beginning, you are going to design a lens. You have to start from this. Like this one is for to make the lens, to design the lens, to design some structures. If you are going to have some detector, have some source, illumination source, you have to go through these few blocks. So here I am just showing like what is this. This is some elements. This is ray tracing components, and these settings I have highlighted because if you are making some complex design, you are going to add or subtract. Like in PowerPoint, if you are going to add a square and the circle together, you are just merging it or subtracting it, something like that. Here also same idea, same kind of things. If you are going to add a convex and suppose a concave lens together, you can add it. You just draw it from the lens here, and then you can just add it. So it's pretty simple. Okay, so yeah, I have again show you like if we are selecting something, like this is the whole picture. If we are just clicking on the top, you can see a color change. The purple color will show like, okay, this portion is selected. And if you know, like if you want to know about this, you can see like this cylinder primitive 3, like these things are open. That means this particular selection is named as cylinder 3, and it has 3 surfaces. If you can click it, you can see their properties. That's there. Like this software is too much clear. You can go click, see the properties, and you can modify it. And even there, you can change the material of it. So there is a list of materials. You can go and change the material, just like that. So it is pretty much easy. And this is like, if you are done with your design, you are just confident about each and every part. Okay, we can go for analysis. Like if you are going to begin some simulation, you have to analyze, like you have to see like what are the things you are going to see. If it is an intensity display or the illumination display, what is it? So you can like select it under analysis tab. So particularly when I started this light tubes, I started to make a collimator with this. So how to collimate it in the light tools, I'll be showing it in few minutes. So if you have to draw a lens, you have to have a light source, right? It's a simple thing. When you're having a lens, that means you have a light source and you have a detector. But you have to place it like a way you are getting it in the focal point, right? That's our previous classes story. Like 1 by u, 1 by v, 1 by u plus 1 by v equals to 1 by f. So you are going to calculate it by your calculator. But here, if you can place it with this, if you're going to calculate the distance, you'll get it. So it's kind of like proving yourself again and again by mathematics or by the software, you are getting it. So here are the few things you need to do. And when you are getting your confidence, you can make it your by your own. So these are the things I was supposed to have, like you guys will have the software, then you can do it by yourself. But again, I'll show you here to make it understand. And few more things I'd like to show, like when you're again, sorry. Oh, my. Like, yeah. after designing this, like with the specification I have given in the light tools, you may not get the focal point uh, at the position I have told you, because when we are making something, we are not calculating the focal point, right? But if you are having your lens, if you are having the lens you have designed, there is a properties that's a back focal length. If we, like we are just making it randomly, we are placing the detector, we are placing the light source, and we are trying to get some result. Okay, first go, we are getting some result, but it is not on the focal point. So what we are going to do, we have to change the position of the detector, right? We are just keeping a source as a constant, keeping our lens as a constant, which is changing our detectors. And when we are changing our detectors, we need to know like where should we put to get the focal point. It's not like to see it, okay, this may be the point, this may be the point. It's not going to be like that. So there is another thing in the lens properties. When you're going there, the lens properties, you'll get a term called back focal point. If you are getting that back focal point, you are getting the distance of that. And if you are adding those distance from the lens, that is your focal point. And if you're placing your detector instead of the previous position, then you are getting the simulation, like the focused image. So that is our goal, and that will gonna made by this. So I have written down all the steps, because if you are having your software with you, you can at least give a try and you will surely get result. That you will build your confidence and you can go for the next one. So that is my view, and see the ultimate result, you will gonna have this kind of view. Okay, so this is the Illuminance display. So basically, whenever I am using software, we are getting the Illuminance display to understand like what is going to happen. Like if you're using a new lens, what is going to happen? How many, like how much we are getting the power from it. You're giving some power, you're expecting some power out. So how much is the loss? How much we are getting? This is very much useful in our experiment, and also will be yours if you are just having any experience with the optical properties or optical elements. So now, what I'm gonna show you, like, just a minute. So this is basically the light tools. This is basically the light tools. You can see, like, I have a system, like this is our system. This is the objective. This whole part is our objective, and this is our cannula. So this is our cannula, and we are going to have some red trace over there. So you can see, like, I have, so you must be seeing like, okay, this is the whole structure, how are you gonna make it? I have just imported because the lenses objective is available to me. This was fixed in our microscope. So if you know the objective, that means you know the specifications where this is bought from. Okay, I got it from Thorlabs. I went to their page. There is a design structure like if you are having a design structure, they can import it. Like you can see here, there is a step file, IGS file, and something import code5 file. That means you can import the structure, and the structure is already available in their site. So you can import the structure, you can modify it, or just like this, you can modify it. Properties, go to the properties, okay, modify it like XYZ, or maybe the surface, maybe the coordinates, thickness, you can modify it. So this is how it is gonna use. Like you can import the file, you can change it, and you can use it. So this is what I have done. And again, like a few more minutes. So just a moment, let it be finished. So you can see, like this is how you're going to make something. If you're clicking on the elements, you're picking up a single lens. You can have it like this, like, okay, I am selecting this. I can have the mirror like this, and you can place it. Whenever you're placing it, you can see, okay, something is there, but I am not liking the position. What you can do, you can actually go to the properties here or from here, and you can change the coordinates. Suppose I wanted oh, sorry, I have to select this. Okay, lens 6. So you can see, like there is some angle, that's why it is tilted. I can change it simply like this. So even if you're having a lenses or like this, you can just drag it, draw it, and change its coordinate. Then material, it's about like its default is, it's like NBK7. It's a spot material, but you can also change it. Like there is a lots of thing over here. So you can go choose anyone and change it like this way. Okay, like Nikon, like this. So you can change it. This is how it is going to be user-friendly software, I must say. There is some optical properties. That means the lenses, you're having some, if I have drawn the lenses, that is 3D, right? So it's a front surface, back surface, the middle one, there is one surface. Again, top and back, there is one surface. So all total maybe 6 surfaces, right? Here, 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 and here. So 6 surfaces were there, and you can change their properties, the optical properties. You can set one side as an absorber, one side as a transmitter, or one side as a total reflecting one. You can change it. Okay. And let me, yes, sure. So how are you gonna change it? Lens, then the surfaces. Then if we are just expanding it, there is a property, transmitting, absorber, like, and you can make it by your own, like you are happy to create a new property by this, or create and assigning new properties. You can create a property of your own, and like if you're creating your own, the new list will show here, and you just drag it. That's it. Like this way, you can drag it and apply it. So you can see like property has been changed now. So this is how you're gonna use this thing. And one more thing, like this is, just a moment. So you can see like before the ray tracing was different, I have changed its position and the material unknowingly. Still, when I started the simulation, you can see the changes. So that means like this is how you are gonna test your system. You can change it, simulate it, and you can also optimize it. I'm going to show you actually the simulation input. So there is a catch, like whenever you're importing some new things from the examples or the lenses that are available in the market, you're going to have it. And when you're starting your simulation, before that, you need to know few things, like when you're having your detector, then they are giving some rays, like 1,000 rays, 2,000 rays, a number of rays to trace. That means how many rays you are going to allow through that optical system, and you are going to get the result. But there is a calculation, a little bit of calculation, like when you're having the detector at the end, the area of the detector by the number of rays gonna give you the stability coefficient. So actually the number of actually the formula is about the area of the detector by the root over of the total number of rays. So if you are going to get more stability of your optical system, that means you are going to give more number of rays. So they are actually recommending something over 1 million. So see, I have used 1.5. You can use more, just to keep in mind like how much stability you are gonna give. And how did you get to know about that? So you can change it like this. And you can simulate it again. So you are going to have some new results. And just to let you know, from the analysis part, you are going to have the idea like there is an error percentage. From there, you can know about are these things are stable. Like if error percentage is high, of course, you are going to change your system or change your elimination pattern. So just like this, two more moment. Okay. So if we drag it down, you have an illumination manager. source list and the receiver list. You are going to check the receiver list. And if we are going to see the properties like the surface you are going to trace, you can see the mesh result and you can see a term called error estimate. So this error estimate basically trying to give you the output of the formula I have talked just before. So from there you can see like if it is higher, that means we have to change our, either have to decrease our detector or increase the total number of rays to get it more stable. So that's how you're gonna use it. So few more things to know. Again, if we are going to design a new model, suppose we are going to design a new model. Okay, you're having this. So we can again go to properties, change the coordinates. Remember, you have to change the coordinates from the lens primitive or lens, because if you are going to change this one, like the front surface or rear surface, it will just add the thickness or the shrinkness. So you are going to change it from lens primitive, and you can, like, let's start with 0, 0, 0 and make it here. And next thing what you are gonna use, you have to insert a source, right? Light source. So under insert, you are going to have light source. Don't worry, everything is there. Like I have written it like a flowchart in the slide. So you'll get it. So, like if you are going to have a point source, you just click it, it is there. And from the properties, you can, sorry, that's the problem. You can see there is a name point source 3. You can rename it like sun. You can rename it. You can change the coordinates again. You can change the emittance. That's what I have told you in the slide. Like you can change it. You can change this, there the aim region, and you can change the aim area. You can apply it. You can see the aim area position is come up there. So this is how you're gonna change your thing. So let me do something. Okay. Okay, let it be like this. And I just want to show at least a few things. Dummy surface. So dummy surface, what you are going to use as a detector. Okay. So properties, again, we have to change. So, you know, like dummy surface is there, source is there, lens is there. But we haven't defined this dummy surface, like what we are going to use it for. So dummy surface, if we have this, you can see add a surface receiver. You can always add a surface receiver over there. and you can begin the simulation. You are getting it like it is kind of like weird things because I am doing a random thing. But if you are going to place this receiver in the front side, you can again do this. How? You are going to change the coordinate. So but before it, I am again go to ray trace, simulation input. I'll be changing it like this. And few more things I can do. I can show the mesh results. It's 5.42. That means error is always like, even if it is under 10%, it is going to be a stable one. So you can see there is a total power incident, absorbed, clipped, or every details are there. That's what I am telling you, like the half width beam, half width beam with full width. So everything is there. You need not to calculate by your own, and you can actually visualize it. How? Big when you're just clicking by this, you can see it like how much power you can concentrate, how much not. So, and there is a graph over there, so you can estimate it. If when you are optimizing your system, you're doing the right U and right V for this lens, you can go and check. This reminds me, I have to show something of lens, like the geometry, what I'm talking about. The focal length is there, front focal length is there, back focal length is there. You know these three terms from your geometrical optics class. So I like to know like everything is there. You need not to calculate. What you have done, that's for your understanding in geometrical optics. But what you are going to the field, like for market field or the product, so you're gonna use this one. So this software is pretty much understandable, pretty much there. You just need to drag and drop it. It's a drag and drop software, and bit of knowledge. A little bit of knowledge will help you to understand about the total optical system. And one more thing, I think in tools, you can have a source library or the LED library. So from there, you can choose the examples. You can filter it, choose it. I think from the source library, I have taken the examples about the solar concentrator, and you can see it. So this is a few things about light tools. Again, you are going to have it in more next day. Dr. Mariket will teach you on this, but now I'm going to shift to another software that is